What is going on, miners, and welcome back to the Hobbyist Miner channel. Well, today we have both our hands available to us. So usually we use the ZV-1 with the Rode shotgun mic and our Sony handheld here, but we don't need that anymore today. I've actually taken the recommendations and advice from ChumpChangeXD as well as Red Panda Mining. We got ourselves a GoPro Hero 8 as well as the Media Mod and the chest mount. Now, if this works out, I'm super excited because I can't wait to use this for more projects, but I'm also super nervous on the audio quality. So bear with me if the audio quality is not what it traditionally is with my other camera with the Rode shotgun microphone. But anyways, before we get into this build here, I want to let you guys know that today's video is actually brought to you by the development team over at Flux. They have graciously gone ahead and reached out to me, and not only are they sponsoring today's video on this 6 GPU Flux rig that we're building, but at the very end of this video, I'll have details on how you guys can enter to win 500 Flux sponsored by the developers over at the Flux team. You guys can check them out over on the website runonflux.io. I'll put a link down below in the description for that. Check it out, guys. They have a phenomenal multi-asset crypto wallet. I use it. It's called Zelcore, as well as check out their Discord. Flux is something that's been around for a while now. I actually got introduced to it chatting with Red Fox Crypto. He's been investing into it for quite some time. I was not. So check out the website, check out their Discord, and at the very end of this video, we're going to go ahead and talk about the giveaway. Okay, so let's go ahead and get into this here, and let's review exactly what we have that we're going to build for our 6 GPU Flux rig that we'll be building today. Depending on profitability, it might not be on Flux forever, but at least, you know, for today, we're going to set it up on Flux. And the reason I'm mining on Flux versus like Ravencoin or Ergo is because of the fact that I'd like to get my Flux wallet built up. I'm a hodler at heart. I don't sell any of my crypto, I hodl everything. So I want to get a decent amount of Flux hodled just in case it does pop. So in today's rig, these are actually 6 of the RX 470 4 gig cards. These are the Sapphire Nitro ones, so these are phenomenal. I'm very happy with these. I got these back in January for $120 a pop. And now, man, I don't know where you're finding them for that type of price range. We will be using those today to mine on Flux. We took them out of our grow tent because we have to wait on getting an 8-inch exhaust for our grow tent. So I need to get these up and mining and making me some money. We will be using the EVGA 650 watt bronze power supply. All it's really powering is our motherboard, so it doesn't have to be anything crazy. For our GPUs, we will be going ahead and using the 1200 watt HP power supply. This is a staple on my channel with the 12 slot breakout board. In addition, guys, we are using the Misfits mining, and these are actually the Hobbyist Miner branded GPU hangers. So I'm super excited to go ahead and use these here. I got a box in today from the guys over at Misfits Mining. I was running extremely low on them, so I'm super happy to have them, more of them available to me. I used my last 6 on this setup here, so now I got plenty to move forward. If you guys are interested in these sets, they come in red or black. They have the Hobbyist Miner logo at the top, as well as it says the Hobbyist Miner at the bottom. I'll put a link down below to these. Moving on from there, so we are going to go ahead and use the wooden board setup that we have used in the past. It's a wooden piece of plywood that has toolbox liner on top that we've stapled down, you can see right here. And then we went ahead and cut some aluminum angle, drilled some holes in it. So we'll be putting our motherboard in the middle. We'll then be going ahead and putting our HP power supply right here. So let me go ahead and lay that out. Okay, kind of out right here. We are going to be putting the 650 watt EVGA off to the side on the left hand side here. And then finally, we're going to be taking our GPU risers 64 gig solid state drive and going ahead and putting that locked down right here. So it should all work out pretty nicely. We've done this in the past on a rig like down here, which you can see it. We're pretty much going to mirror what we're using down here. In addition to that, let's go over some of the additional supplies, and then we'll cut over getting this built. So I went ahead and robbed a power button out of an HP tower. We have that here. We need this fan. This is a rear chassis fan because the motherboard requires it, or you have to press F1 to bypass it. So we're just going to go ahead and put this off to the side, but it is required. In addition to that, how are we going to get away with 6 GPUs? Well, there's only 2 PCI slots, so we're going to use this PCI splitter. This is a 1-to-4. I've used this in the past on this rig over here that you guys can see, so we're going to use it again over here. So we're going to have one sit here, and then the other one sit right behind it. Now I do need to take off this plate. It gets in the way it's set up on this board, so I am going to take off the plate here. There's just a little set screw here and here. We'll remove that and be good to go. So super thanks to the team over at GPUrisers.com. They provided us our 8 capacitor GPU risers today for this build, as well as our 64 gigabyte solid state drive. And finally, what has come to be my favorite is these Y splitters. It's an 8-pin to 6+2 on each side. So the 6 I'm going to go ahead and put onto the riser, and the 8 will go into these cards. The RX 470s are 8-pin cards only, so this will work out well. So super shout out to them. I'll put a link down below, guys, if you want to get your hands on your own GPU risers, solid state drive, or the splitters. The link down below, if you guys go over to GPUrisers.com and use the checkout code the Hobbyist Miner, it'll give you 10% off anything on their website. Finally, we have our PCI cables. We also have our USB cables, and then we have our C13 to C14 cable to finish things off. Okay, so we are going to set this up right here on the rack. We have our other ones right here. Sorry, I'm trying to bend backwards since it is a chest mount. I have my other hanging GPUs here, as well as some up here. And I really only have one slot left available to me. I have my test rig down below, which I test all my new GPUs on. And then this one is almost filled up. I do need to go ahead and rebuild it. There's quite a bit I need to do with that. But we're gonna go ahead and build this, I think, right into this rack right here. What I actually might do is move up my test rig to here, just so that I don't interfere within here. I don't know, I'm gonna have to take a look at it and see. So let me go ahead first and get this built. So I'm gonna get all the pieces in place. I'm gonna get everything screwed in, and then off we're gonna go. So first thing I'm going to do is I want to open up our 650 watt EVGA power supply, and then get that in place and kind of place everything. And then I'm going to go ahead and screw everything in with the aluminum angle, and also into the wood board here. All right. Okay, so we don't need any of the literature. We're going to keep all the cables in here for right now. I'm really only interested in the power supply. Okay, so I think what we're going to do is we're going to put this somewhere within here. I did measure out all the aluminum angle already, so that'll fit there. This will fit here, this will fit there, and then I want to make sure I give myself enough room. This will fit right within here, which I think will work out well. This needs to come back. Okay. Oh, these are actually really huge difference in height. What in the world? Who measured this stuff? Interesting. Yeah, so this one is the right length. Interesting. That baffles my mind. So there's definitely a difference between these. How did I do that? This is what happens when I cut these with my kids. I was doing this with my kids, and mistakes were made. So I'm definitely gonna have to fix that. What I need to do is, I think I can just go ahead, I can leave this the way it is, and I just need to put another screw hole in here. So let me go ahead and do that real quick. Okay, so I got another screw hole drilled here. This will actually work out well. The way it fits, it actually fits right under this loop here. So I think I'm happy with where everything is, which will work out nicely. So I'm going to go ahead and get this screwed in real quick. And I think I used these screws before. I can't remember. I feel like these might have not gripped the way I wanted them to. So let me go ahead and try this out. And actually I need an extension bit. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and get these screwed into the board here. And yep, that looks like that worked out well. All right, so I don't think I want to overdo that because it makes it a little too tight there, I think. Let's look. Yep, there we go. All right, so let's get everything done. So this is like my version, my cheap version of some type of mining board, is what I'm calling it, I guess. It does the trick. The only challenge is, I'm squeezing these together right now. The only challenge I have with this setup, and I think it's because on the previous one, I'll show you guys in a second, that I didn't make the rack above it high enough. So this one right here, the distance between the motherboard and the top of that rack wasn't high enough. So all the cables end up like jumbling together. Like my PCI cables are just too short, which ends up happening. So I think that's some of my challenge there, honestly, is just having that high enough. And actually notice that if you guys ever see ChumpChangeXD's videos, he has his at a really good height in his big orange rack. And I do like that, because if you make them high enough, then it's, you know, it spreads out the cables, it's good for airflow and everything like that. So that is something that with these racks, I don't think I spread them out enough. Like I have multiple, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 metal shelves. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, yeah, 5 metal shelves, and maybe I should have 4 instead, and they should just be spread out better. All right, we're getting there. We're getting there. And I'm not making these too tight that like I couldn't pull the solid state drive out or slide this out, but just enough that like it doesn't move. That's all I want to do. Just make sure it doesn't move. So I've created a few of these. I have one of these boards that's running my AMD R9 380X rig, my 6 GPU rig, and that's mining Ethereum Classic right now. And then I have another one of these in my grow tent that is running, what is it? It's running on Ergo right now. And Autolycos, actually, a nice hash Autolycos. We had a video out the other day on it. And these have worked out well. That one, the only difference I've done on the one in my grow tent is I went ahead and separated the power supplies. So like I cut these so I could spread them out. So the power supplies and stuff, and you know, was on one, and that worked out really well. You know, kind of continue. You know, you got to think like this kind of blocks airflow, right? But if you cut this and cut this here and separated them, and the rack is much longer, then you're not blocking airflow as much in the tent. And that's worked out well in the grow tent right now. I don't have that luxury with this smaller of a setup at the current time. All right, I have 4 more screws to do, and then we can start to get everything in place. So I'm only going to put 4 screws in this motherboard, real light, not even screwing these in all the way. There is some little rubber grommets on the bottom of this motherboard, so it's not, you know, totally getting you know, forced down hardcore. And these screws are really just to hold it in place, as I said before. It's not going anywhere. we're not carrying this around, you know, like transporting it. And there we go. 4 screws, we're good. We're good to go at this point in time. All right, so we're done with that. Let's see. I think I need to get a different bit in order to. I want to go ahead and do these here. I think this is. This will work. Nice. Okay, this one will work. So I'm just undoing these little screws here. There we go. Don't need these. Put these off to the side. So now these will fit real nicely right here. Look at that. Bam! Looks so good. Now I know there's a lot of people that'll be asking about these PCI 1-to-4 splitters. I don't know how well they work on newer cards, as I've only ever used these on older cards, and I don't know if it's going to work on your motherboard or not. So unfortunately I've only ever used these on older cards and I've had good luck on them, but a lot of people have reached out to me in the past asking me like, oh, you know, how'd you get that to work? I bought those and those don't work for me, or they're not working for my 3060s, and unfortunately I'm not really sure what to tell you there. As I said, my experience has only been on older cards at this point in time. So this fan literally is just a waste of space. Like, some people have actually just put it right on top, but it just the board needs something, so we're gonna put it there for right now, and make do with what we have at the current moment. So we got our power. This is a poor man's build right here. This isn't a Red Panda mining build. Come on now. Nothing against him. I love his videos. They're just they're in a whole nother ballpark when it comes down to cost and having the money to do that. Okay, so we don't need this power cable because we're going to be powering it from this, one of them, from C14 to C13. I do need another one of those cables here. So out of here, all I need is for the motherboard, which the motherboard uses a 24 pin and then a little tiny 4 pin, which is awesome. And then other than that, we just need to power our solid state drive. Okay, so we got this one here. Okay, I'm just gonna lay that there for now. And what I'm gonna end up using is zip ties that have a little hoop on them, and screwing them into the board to kind of do some cable management is kind of what I find the best thing to do. Actually, what I might do, here we go, let's flip this around. I'm gonna go this way. There we go. Okay. Nope. What am I doing here? Should fit. Oh my gosh, I'm like putting this in the wrong spot. Like, what are you doing? What is going on here? All right, I am the craziest person in the world. You know, you can tell it's been a long day when we're having issues like this. It's like, why doesn't this fit? Well, because you're putting the wrong cable in the wrong hole, buddy. All right. Okay, sorry, I had to crouch down to do that. Okay, so we're good. Let's come along here. Okay, so that's good. Now I'm going to use a zip tie. All right, hang on, I'm going to touch my GoPro. I wanted to make sure it's working right. So we're going to use a zip tie and with the hoops in it to go ahead and lock this in place right here. I now need the CPU cable. Now here's a SATA cable. We'll put that aside. We'll need that later to power the solid state drive. That's another SATA cable. That's a Molex. Here's our CPU, and see how it has a 4 pin here? This is actually perfect. This is what we want. Now I want to see, how did I run that over there? That looks like it. Oh, did I run under the board? Okay, yeah. So I ran this one a little bit differently. So I did, trying to make sure I give you guys some type of angle here. Okay, So I actually put little feet on this board, on my last board. I might need to modify this one and do that. But here's what I did. You see on this board here, there's actually like a little piece of wood screwed underneath. I didn't do that on my current one. And the CPU runs right underneath of it there. So here, I'm gonna have to do that here in order to cut down on my cables. Let me grab some zip ties. I love me some zip ties. And let's get this guy plugged in to my motherboard. There we go. Can't really zip tie that back super effectively. I could try. It's not going to last. That's okay. Not hurting anything there. We'll put these over here for right now. Okay, so that 24 pin, the 4 pins done. This I need to get bigger zip ties. You're taking a walk with me here. We'll throw away some trash while we're at it. Take a walk with me, guys. On a journey across my basement. And this is my messy workbench. I am looking for, here we go. All right, zip ties. So these zip ties, if you guys haven't seen these before, you're in for a little treat. They have a little hoop in them, you see? So you can go ahead and put a screw in. And trying to see what screw I used there. Okay, I wanted to see what screws we used. We'll use these green ones here. And I'm gonna wait because I still got to do another one in here, so I'll give it a minute. Where did I just put that big thing of zip ties? Over here. Okay. So let's go ahead and do the SATA. Okay. Let's see. This one has 4. This one has, these are the same. Okay, so it's not going to matter. Alright. I don't think there's a SATA cable. I might have to run upstairs and grab me a SATA cable. Those I have upstairs out in the garage. I don't have any readily available on me. Okay, so let's go ahead and come off here. And then this is going to run out to our solid state drive here and plug in there. Bam, look at that. Okay, so I do need to get a SATA cable. So let me go do that real quick. I'll go grab a SATA cable and I'll be back in a second. Okay, so I got a few SATA cables here. Some of these are crazy long, actually. I like the 90 degree. 90 degrees are nice. Okay, so we're just gonna put this in, oh, so it goes this way. Okay, we're gonna put that in SATA 1. And we're gonna have to loop this back. Let's figure out how I wanna do that and come back up here and then plug in there. Okay, so we'll have to kind of clean that up with cable management. All right, let's get some of our loopty, what do they call these? Mounting cable ties. Okay, whatever you want to call them there, Willis. Okay, so we're gonna have to do it like this. That's what I'm thinking. So let's start out here. So these are a little different, a little thicker. What they'll do the trick here. And I'm just gonna go ahead and screw these in lightly just to get us started until I figure out exactly where we want to go. And honestly, guys, I mean, this is just a plywood and toolbox liner. Like, we're not spending big bucks here for this. Oh, that's the wrong type of screw. The toolbox liner was like $15, $20. I'll put a link down below. I have the, down below you guys will see the Hobbyist minor parts list. I'll have this down there. It's in that parts list, guys. So please go check that out for the toolbox liner. It works well. Okay, so we're gonna do that there. Do that there. Secure these now. There we go. There we go. And let me get my side snips. Okay, so I don't need any of these SATA cables. I'm gonna put that aside. I do need to figure out how I want to route this. I think we're gonna go like, I gotta get this power button out of the way. I just let the power buttons kind of sit freely. That always seems to work out nicely for me. Okay, so I need a cable, I need a zip tie in the hard corner here. I might actually flip it backwards and go around. Look, you guys get a cool view of my shoes. Nothing special. Okay. So let's do this almost in the corner to kind of pull this. I want to pull this cable kind of back towards me when I zip tie this. And this will take my SATA. This will take everything right back through here. There we go. Look at that. Perfect. Let's get this screwed in. Rest of the way. I know, this is exactly what you guys wanted to do today. You wanted to watch me build one of my weird, goofy board mining rig setups. You guys are crazy. Alright, let's see here. So I want to keep that in place. I think we're going to put this right in here. I don't want to mess with the solid state. I might have to resecure the solid state drive. It's a little bumping out of there a little bit more than I like. That solid state drive. That's that weird screw. Why is that screw in there? Why is that in the box? Get out of there. Okay. Okay, that'll do good. That'll do, pig, that'll do. Alright. See what you guys miss out when I record this entire thing? Me just yappering on. Okay, so I think that's pretty good. I think that'll do the trick. Let's get all this out of the way. That's all trash. These are spare parts for later. Oh, that's trash. Sorry guys, bumping you around. Okay, so we are in a good spot. Okay, so let's get all of our cards ready here. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna get our 6 pins on. Might as well cut these off. Little twisty ties. Okay, I always like to kind of spread these out. They get so curled up. Now these are the 8 capacitor GPU risers, which I've been a huge fan of recently since their team sent these over. So thanks again, GPUrisers.com, for providing this. I appreciate it. Okay, so that's what we're going to look at there. Let me grab a PCI cable too. We'll have 6 of these for our build today. And these are 8, this is an 8 female pin at the top, is what we have here. So yeah, there's what we're dealing with. So let's get a few more of these done. So our 6 pin goes into our riser, and then we'll grab a USB cable. Okay. I like that butterfly clip, it's so nice. All right, let me get the rest of these done and we'll be back in a minute. Okay guys, so I have all of our GPUs set up and ready to go. They got the risers on them, USB cables, our PCI splitters, and our PCI cables. In the meantime, while I was away here, went to the bathroom, took a break, didn't want to bring you guys with me, sorry. I did go ahead and put HIVEOS onto our solid state drive, so we're good to go. We're calling this rig Cypher, named after the X-Men. I name all of my rigs based off of X-Men, so this one is Cypher. I did go ahead and move our test rig out of here for right now. I want to redesign the test rig a little bit. Right now it's just sitting down here. It's one giant mat. It just cuts off airflow entirely for a rack like this. So it doesn't matter what shelf I put it on, it was going to create a challenge. So we're going to put this rig on the bottom shelf here and then hang the cards down from it. So the first thing we're going to do is I'm going to go ahead and take this, put this on the bottom rack with no cards plugged in, plug in our Ethernet, and then also our power, boot it up, and make sure that it shows up in HIVEOS. That is a strategy that Red Panda Mining actually goes over on his channel. I really like that. Get it, make sure it shows up in HIVEOS before you add an obstacle like your GPUs. So I'm gonna do that now. Okay guys, so we got our rig in place and good to go. We have the ATX power supply plugged in and the Ethernet plugged in. As well as we do have our breakout board and server power supply plugged in right now too. So let's go ahead and check over on HIVEOS and make sure that everything comes up first before we go ahead and plug in any of our cards. So I just refreshed over here as I was chatting and it looks like that it came up, our Cypher rig, no flight sheet, which makes sense. It's got the onboard Hewlett-Packard HD Graphics 4000 right now on there, so we are in a good spot. So let's go ahead and shut this down, and we are now ready to start plugging in some cards. So I'm going to see if I can get a good angle on this. I probably am just going to mute myself while I do this real quick, only because of the fact that it's kind of loud. Let me fix this. It's kind of loud inside of this mining room right now, and so I don't know how well you're gonna be able to hear me. So we'll throw in some music here for you guys and I'll get these cards installed. All right, so we're good to go. Cable management isn't the best, but we'll see how we're gonna do. So let's go ahead and get everything powered on, and then we'll jump over to the computer onto HIVEOS and get this thing configured to mine some Flux. So I'm gonna try to shout a little bit louder in here just because of how loud it is. Let me go ahead and power up our server power supply. Look at that, you can see all the hangers came on there. And let's go ahead and boot up our ATX power supply. And we are just checking everything. All of our fans are on. We are off to the races, guys. Hell yeah. All right, let's jump over to the computer in HIVEOS and get this configured to mine some Flux. Okay guys, so we're over on the computer now. I thought a good spot to start would be coming into what to mine. Let's get some estimates here before we dive into the nitty gritty. So we're gonna select 6 RX 470s at the top, and we're gonna go ahead and hit calculate. So taking a look over here, there's a variety of different coins right now. Flux is definitely down there. Flux is only putting out at about $2.39. If we go ahead and click into there, with $1.74 per day in electricity cost. If we scroll back up to the top, there's a lot of other items out there. But as I said at the very top of this video, my goal is to get my Flux wallet built up. I got a decent amount of Raven coin, got a decent amount of Ethereum Classic and Ergo. I like to get some Flux kind of hodled away. So that's why we're taking this rig, and we're taking a cut from our profitability per day. These have already been paid off. They're RX 470s. I got them for like $1.20 each. But Flux is right down here. So that being said, that gives us kind of an idea. If I scroll back down to Flux, you know, this is more of your speculative mining. You know, if you guys have seen out there, a lot of people talk about speculative mining. It's, okay, you're going to go ahead and mine something that you're hoping is going to pop in the near future. Now, based off of this information, it puts our hash rate at about 72 mega hash, and our power, this is an estimate, we'll check it at the wall, at about 660 watts total. In a 24-hour period, we should be doing about 14.5 total Flux, so we'll keep an eye on that moving forward. Let's jump over to our Cypher rig here. I did just go ahead and give it an update. It looks like it's just coming back up now. The HIVEOS operating system had an update. They had a release come out, so we did go ahead and apply that. So let's go ahead and get our flight sheet set up and good to go. So in our flight sheet here, we're going to go ahead and create a new flight sheet for Flux. We're going to select Flux. Our wallet is Zelcore, and you guys can actually check out Zelcore. Zelcore is actually pretty sweet. It's a multi-asset crypto wallet, very similar like what you guys see out there, like with Exodus, where it handles like a bazillion different cryptocurrencies out there. What I like about Zelcore is it carries a lot of those cryptocurrencies that you don't see over on Exodus. So it's a great yin to the yang here. So I check it out. You download the app just like you would with Exodus. So jumping back over, we'll select our pool. We're going to be mining to minerpool.org, and we're going to be going ahead and doing our load differential first and then the variable second. After that, we're going to select our miner. So there's a few out there right now that support Flux, LOL Miner, G Miner, and MiniZ. We're going to start out with LOL Miner, and we'll see kind of where we go. I'm going to go ahead and name this Flux. And then we're going to name this the name of the rig, which is Cypher, and then LOL Miner is how I like to go ahead and do the syntax for the name of my flight sheets. Let's jump back over to our worker, select Cypher. We're going to go to our flight sheets, and we're going to go ahead and send that one that we just created to the moon. Let's jump over and look at our overclock settings next while that applies. So my understanding is this is very similar to Raven coin with your overclock settings. So I'm going to select just our popular presets because I don't really know where to get started here. I want to see if there's anything in here, even for RX 470s. There might not be anything. I really don't know. Okay, we got something. Something's in here that people have tried in the past. Not many, but it shows a core of 1175 and a memory of 1500. Now, on what to mine, it is telling us that we should be around 72 hash rate, or actually souls. I said mega hash earlier. This is souls is the way that this works on here. So let's go ahead and just apply these two to get us started. We'll throw our fans at 65. We don't really have any underclocks or anything like that yet, but we do want to go ahead. These are RX cards, so we do want to go ahead and tweak them. So for this one, we have Hynix on 0, 1, 2. So let me go ahead and 0 through 2. And we're going to go ahead and set that to Hynix. And then we have 3 through 5. And this is for the tweak here. 3 through 5. And those are going to be on 20. So we'll save that. We got rough overclocks in here. We got rough flight sheet thrown in here. So let's give this a few minutes and we'll check back in just a second. Okay, so our rig is up and running here. We're at 82 souls right now, which is 10 higher than what to mine was putting us at. So we'll have to use some of this. The card 3 is so funny. It's at 101 watts versus some of the other ones are a little lower. But we're not doing any aggressive underclock settings here at all. Like if we jump in, you know, we're not even using aggressive undervolting. So I don't even know what to set this at something like Flux. It's a whole new world, you know, a whole new world here. So let's see here. Let me refresh again. Yeah, I mean, we're up to 85 right now, which is great. We're looking good. I mean, how low could we go with this undervolting, I wonder? This is actually pretty dang good. So let's start out. I mean, these are RX cards. You can use like ones in here. Let me just try something similar to like Raven Coin and see where that gets us, okay? Let's try it out. So we were like low, mid 14s. Let's give this a minute and see. Because like I would throw like 900 VDD out there and then 1 DPM and 1 MDPM. And then, you know, that would take us down. And that would take, I mean, I wonder if we're going to get down. Like, can we get into 70s or 60s on this? I don't even know. Let's wait and see. Okay, so I tried to do some fine tuning and tweaking on this. Ran into some trouble, but we'll settle for this for now. So we're at 82.27 souls. So let's go over to what to mine. 82.27. And then let me check what I'm doing at the wall. Let me roll over that. Okay, so that's at 2330. So 2330 minus, we were at 1360 before we added this rig. So this rig's doing 970 total. Man, and that's at the wall. So we did 2330 minus the 1360. 2330 is what it says now. I do believe with enough tweaking, especially with some of the aggressive undervolting settings, that we could get this down, man, below 800, which would make our profitability much better. But if we do calculate our profitability here, $2.13. So yeah, we really need to get that power down in order to see some better profitability here. But we're looking good, 82.27 souls, which is awesome. So let's talk about this rig. We're going to let this rig sit for a few weeks now, earn us some extra flux within our wallet. You know, it's doing about 14.5 flux per day. My whole goal is, I'm a hodler. I want to hodl and get a decent amount. I'd say, you know, man, if I could get a few thousand flux put aside, that would be awesome. Well, guys, let's talk about our giveaway. So as a reminder, the team coming to you directly from Flux themselves, runonflux.io. They are into a multitude of different projects. One of them is Flux, and one of them is Zelcore, their multi-asset crypto wallet. So special thanks to them for supporting this video, as well as sponsoring a 500 Flux giveaway. That totals somewhere between 140 and 150 USD based off the day. So here's what we're going to do. You can check them out here, runonflux.io. I'll put a link down below if you want to check out their wallet as well as their website. Also, I'll put a link down below to their Discord. If you guys really want to dig deep into Flux, check out their Discord. I'm actually going to go ahead and join up on it and, you know, discuss. If I go ahead and load it up right now, I got it up and available. And probably look at chatting with some people on their Discord about some best overclock settings, especially for my RX 470s. I definitely think I can improve and cut my wattage down significantly. Finally, let's talk about our giveaway. So how do you enter the 500 Flux giveaway? Down below in the description, you'll find a link to my Discord. Go over to my Discord, the Hobbyist Miner Discord, and in there, there's a sub channel called Flux Giveaway. Just post your Flux wallet address right in here. If you guys don't have a Flux address yet and you want to win some, it's completely free to get a wallet. Go over to runonflux.io, download Zelcore onto your computer, nab your Flux address, and then come back to my Discord and just post it right in there. What we'll do is we'll let this run for 1 week. So on this video will end up dropping here, let's see, on the 9th. So on the 16th, September 16th, we will declare our winner in Discord, on our YouTube channel, and on Twitter. So once again, guys, to enter the 500 Flux giveaway, come over to my Discord, go down to the Flux giveaway channel, and post your Flux wallet address right there. That'll put you in the running to possibly win yourself 500 Flux, sponsored by the development team over at runonflux.io. Well, guys, that is it for today. I appreciate you hanging in there for a long video. This is going to be crazy to go ahead and edit, but I appreciate all your support. That's my first time using the GoPro Hero 8 with a chest mount, so we'll have to see how it makes out when we go ahead and throw this into post and get it into DaVinci Resolve for some editing. But if you guys did enjoy this video, please go ahead and give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe. Take care.